Masters.
That's a lot of confidence going out from Sir Nine. That's what we see week after week anyways. So we're going to see, obviously he's going to guarantee himself the final 10 placement.
Right.
Now we'll see if he's able to keep that going into the first round of the final 10 to see if he's able to keep that first place and to finally get a well-deserved victory again for Saturday Night Speedway.
Absolutely. And from my understanding, I look behind us, and we already have the players getting ready for qualifier number 3, and you also already have the likes of Terabyte, Glitchtastic, and Kai Rett trying to hold on to their ranked positions. And you also take a look at some of the other players that they have here. We have Nino, 428, Chino, My Style.
Yeah, we always mix those up because when you look at it on the bracket, it looks very similar to My Style and My Schleit.
This is an absolute dyslexian nightmare. Trust me, it's very difficult. OGC Cute Boy. Then we have Terabyte, Glitchtastic, Kyret, Supremo, another returning player, Fire Penguin 22, and Sodacity. Or is it Soda City? See,
it might be
tongue twisters.
Oh,
really
that's true.
is.
It could be either one, I guess. Soda City or Sodacity. Sodacity kind of sounds better, so
I like that
maybe
one.
Maybe that's what it is. But we're going to see them racing up here. Obviously, we have 3 ranked players in this one, Terabyte, Glitchtastic, and Kyret. So those are going to be players to really look out for going into this match. We've obviously seen My Style a few times beforehand, and now we're seeing Geronimo on your screen right now. After finally solidifying himself a final 10 spot, is going to be left Savage going into this week and not going to get Geronimo throwed, at least so far, into the tournament. But it might hopefully not get Geronimo throwed into the final 10 here. You see Terabyte on your screen, who's been pretty consistent at obviously getting in the final 10 and actually winning a few weeks in a row. So we'll see if Terabyte's able to kind of race consistently going into this third qualifier and try and solidify himself a spot in that final 10.
And looking over at Zero right now, sitting very comfortably in his racing. I love the fact that he's wearing a very awesome anime Frozen shirt. I definitely noticed that from the very beginning. I love the design of that shirt. I need to know where he got it because I kind of want one, and I want to know if they have it in red. It's likely going to be blue, though.
I was going to say, I don't think the movie's
that dark.
Color is red,
100%.
So most of the time it's sort of circled around blue and white as just happy colors. But
well, Zero is already in the final 10, so he's able to relax and sit comfortably while qualifier number 3 and the wild cards are going through.
Yeah, we'll see exactly how it pans out for some of them as they're getting their loadouts ready and getting into this action here, seeing the people over by the bar hanging out, and he's staring down. Oh, this is the guy that we stared down last week.
He's back. He just doesn't have a hat. That's the only difference. And I was actually not able to do it. There's the hat, and he's still staring it down. He did not blink once. I think we lost.
That's impressive. And that came from the table that had like some really good racers at it too. If I remember from last week, going into this one, I don't know if we'll see him again, but obviously the stare down is real. The hat placement was also real. We'll see him going into this one. If he's going to win that stare down again, I think he ended up winning last week. So he's going to try and do the same going into this week again. But I think we're going to go into an actual stare down here. Jake, are you ready?
I'm doing it.
All right, I'm ready. I'm staring it down. Do I have to I'm going to still try and talk over everything while also maintaining the stare down.
I'm staring right now, but it's just
I haven't blinked yet. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. But we're going into game here. Going now. So you don't know who actually won. That's going to be up to you guys to decide who won that one. We're going into the first race here, and it's going to be on a checkpoint map. So we're going to see this going forward here. We'll see exactly how these players are going to play through this one. Obviously, on checkpoint maps compared to lap maps, you have to be pretty consistent throughout the entire race. In lap maps, you can kind of just take everything out in the third lap most of the time, but in this one, you have to kind of maintain your consistency here.
You really do. By the way, this is going to be Big Blue again, one of the checkpoint maps that we're definitely going to love to see. And for those people, again, that don't know, this is going to be a checkpoint map. And no, actually, this is not going to be the checkpoint map. This is actually going to not be Big Blue. So very interesting to see how they're going to be racing. We're going to look over right now. This is not Marshall Trooper. It is Glitchtastic, number 5th ranked here in the arena. Going to be going back to his trademark Boo. He has not changed it. And we're going to go back over to Terabyte, actually going back into Baby Rosalina. We normally see him run into a pink gold Rosalina. And now he's actually back to the baby because the baby characters are probably the most unfavorable characters for that reason. I don't know what it is about them, but they're just awful characters to use unless you really know how to use them successfully.
Yeah, like you said, you really have to know how to use them effectively because if you get hit by any items, the recovery time is really, really long because you're literally one of the lightest characters in the game. So it takes a lot longer to recover. Obviously, your acceleration is pretty good, but your top speed is the worst in the game as well. So there's a lot of, I would say, more downsides than upsides on playing something like the baby characters in general. But we'll see. Hopefully that works out for Terabyte going into this one. It's definitely worked out before, and that Boo is going to be unfortunate for him as it takes away his defensive item, and that is going to be a hit to him, but he's still going to be able to hold this one out going forward into this one. And now we will see Terabyte here in the second place spot is going to try and hold out on at least a first or second place finish. Kyret trying to hold down to that first place with the Metal Mario. Metal Mario definitely a popular favorite here in the arena. So if you're new to the tournament, new to Mario Kart, just go with Metal Mario. Go run heavyweight characters. It seems to be pretty efficient.
I want to talk about that Kyret moment for a quick second. He got very upset about the fact that all of a sudden his first item got ghosted from him, and then he was immediately followed by a shell, and he wasn't able to pull out that green shell at the last second because you weren't expecting that. And that's something you really need to anticipate. If anything is going to happen at that moment, you need to be prepared for what you're going to be doing next. And we do see Glitchtastic running onto one of the very few secrets in this map, and he has a beautiful jump through. Going to steal first place from Kyret out of nowhere because of that secret. Amazing racing by Glitchtastic to secure first place.
Yeah, and obviously it looks like shaking hands with Kyret right there just to kind of sneak by and able to take that first place away from him. Obviously that is a really, really nice shortcut coming out from Glitchtastic, kind of hidden away in that map. So you really have to know the map in order to be able to take that shortcut. Also have to have a mushroom in order to be able to use it efficiently, and that's with most shortcuts in Mario Kart. You want to make sure you have a mushroom just to be able to go fully through the shortcut, because it's not a real shortcut if you don't have the full speed boost from the mushroom.
And that jump in that secret is extremely long, and you're losing a ton of aerial time. And we're looking over at this next player. He has a beautiful statue on his face. I can't do it. I can't grow facial hair.
It's Mario in real life.
It literally is Mario in real life.
That is actually a beautiful mustache.
I was going to say Jack Sparrow.
Oh, that's a good one too, actually. Yeah, that's more ideal. Or why can't I think of the other guy in Pirates of the Caribbean? What's his name?
I don't know.
You don't the other main guy in Pirates
It's Captain
of the Caribbean.
Barbosa. I'm just messing with you. I wanted to see if you were going to remember that.
Oh, well, I don't. See, Jack Sparrow has like crazy facial hair and crazy hair in general, so I didn't actually remember. I don't have any.
You have
hair.
nothing.
I'm sad.
You have the facial facelessness of a 12-year-old.
Yep.
100%. And we're going to go right now to Wario Stadium. This is not a favorite map for Kyret. He has a ton of issues with this map, and I have no idea why. But every time this map comes in, he is immediately screaming at his screen. And right now, it's obviously noticeable. He's currently sitting in 6th place, and it's not going to be able to get the double boxes or any items, and that's going to be a huge disadvantage for him right now.
Yeah, missing out on that double item box, even any item box in general right there, is going to slow his track down a little bit, because in that 5th or 6th place spot, he definitely got a pretty good item going forward into the rest of this match here. Now we do have the name tags are going to be correct, so this is definitely Glitchtastic on your screen, going to be holding into that 1st place spot here. We saw him take the first race out instead for qualifier number 3 of Kyret, who he's currently trying to track again. We're seeing Glitchtastic here getting hit by a red shell, going to slow his track down a little bit. He luckily dodges out on the red shell due to the damage buffer from the lightning, but he did lose his item, unfortunately, because it took it away.
But he did manage to be able to recover with those coins. He did lose a couple coins from that damage buffer, but was able to recover, and now seeing with that 2.5% speed boost. Gonna go over to Gino right now, another new name that I believe we've only seen 1 or 2 times, and he doesn't get the double item box. It ends up getting stolen, and he is going to be dropping down into 3rd place. One of the very few players that we do see utilizing a Dry Bones character. Not a very favorable character, not a very well-statted character, and he is going to fall off the map. He gets bounced off. Looks like that's going to be a huge issue right now, and he does drop into 5th place, and he still can't see. And now Kyret stealing away 1st place from Glitchtastic, and now it is a battle for 1st place.
Yeah, now we're going to see Kyret is trying to hold on to that position going forward into the 3rd lap here. That coin in his inventory not going to be too great for him defensively. He's just going to probably use that when he gets connected on by an item. Here we see Supremo currently sitting in that 6th place spot. That blue shell is coming out, and that is going to connect with Glitchtastic, I believe, in 1st place, and it's going to connect with multiple players there. It's going to drop him all the way down to 6th place because of it. Kyret sitting in the 2nd place spot. It looks like following shortly behind Terabyte, I believe, in that 1st place position. That red shell is going to connect, and that's going to be huge, considering Terabyte was currently at that max peak, and the speed boost right there is going to drop him down considerably.
And now going over to Chino again, holding on a second to Kyret. It looks like he ended up falling off the map. No, he ended up falling off early and was able to recover. It falls onto the actual ramp, and it's going to secure himself a good, solid 1st place so far. And it's looked like Chino going to have to get rid of the green shell, throw the red shell very quickly if he's going to be able to knock out Kyret. Is he going to be able to knock out the last thing? He does, but it just looks like Kyret barely. No, Glitchtastic actually going to steal off 2nd place, so Chino going to drop down to 3rd.
Yeah, Glitchtastic barely getting in that 2nd place spot. Nice recovery from him. Obviously was holding 1st place for most of the first 2 laps there. Was able to kind of keep that consistency going forward. But Kyret actually taking that 1st place in the 2nd race here. Both of them kind of switching off places going into that 2nd race. Now they're going to try and keep those top 2 spots. Going into the 3rd race, we'll see exactly what map that's going to be as they randomize it again, of course. Every map is randomized. If you don't know the exact format, they're going through 6 races. Going to be in the 3rd race here, going forward into this last qualifier of the qualifying rounds. And then after this, we have the wild card, and then we have the final 10. Wild card also going to be 6 races. Those are going to be the top 4 players from that round will be able to secure themselves a final 10 spot, and then the final 10 will be all paid prize or all paid positions, and that will be to determine exactly how much you get paid.
Absolutely, and we are going to look over here at this last player. I believe that's going to be Sodacity, currently sitting with 4 points. Not really a bad position to be in. Again, we're going to be moving into the 5th race right now, and very curious to see. We're going to go over to the Animal Crossing level, and I love the fact that it is in the spring season. This is a good race, and it's actually the race number 3, so not a bad position to be here right now, and we're going to get it going. No burnouts at this point, so that's going to be good for all of our players. It's going to be a very even playing field. All of the items right now are going to drastically change your placement if you get hit by anything at this point.
You got to be really, really careful with this map. I think this is one of the maps we saw Geronimo getting absolutely destroyed on as well. It's just, I guess there's a list going forward with how many maps Geronimo's been Geronimo's road on, and we'll continue adding to that list as it happens. Hopefully not too much for him, but we see Glitchtastic using a nice little mushroom boost right there. Will get himself that first place spot and a double item box for that, and now just gets a coin and a banana, so not too efficient with the items right there or the item RNG, but it's going to be enough for him to get out of that situation. That banana being thrown, almost connecting with one of the players in front of Kai Red here. He's currently sitting in 3rd. It looks like behind Terabyte and Glitchtastic, the other 2 ranked players in this one, is unfortunately going to run right into that green shell, and that's going to slow him down drastically, dropping him all the way to 5th.
Yeah, you ended up seeing a little bit of frustration, and the hitbox on those shells are extremely large. You might not think about it. Those shells are actually quite small compared to what you would think, but the hitboxes are extreme. So when you're holding it defensively, you got to stay away from other characters who are doing the same because of the fact that if you get close enough, it's going to tag you immediately, almost as if it's homing away from the character. And looking over Glitchtastic right now, extending his lead, going to be getting this quick jump, but he hits the banana that was set by Kai Red a long time ago. And now Glitchtastic losing a lot of the lead, and now he has to find a way to recover.
Yeah, and it looks like Chino has been one of those faces that we've seen a couple times, maybe 1 or 2 times here at the arena, but he's able to race pretty efficiently and try to get those top 3 spots most of the time. Now trying to do the same thing here, Glitchtastic holding on to that 2nd place. Chino, followed shortly behind in that 3rd, is trying to get back up into the top placements here, but it looks like that is going to be a battle between Glitchtastic and Terabyte, as Terabyte's taking one of the last few turns here. That red shell is going to come in, but not connect with him, but instead will connect with Glitchtastic, further extending Terabyte's lead. He has a defensive item for that red shell, and he's going to be able to secure that 1st place going into this 3rd race here. Nicely done from him. It looks like Chino actually able to take that 2nd place, and Glitchtastic followed in 3rd.
And that's a huge placement for the leaderboard. Glitchtastic and Kai Ret were currently sitting in 1st place together, tied with 22 points apiece. Chino was 16, a very surprising name here in this qualifier, and Terabyte was currently sitting in 5th place. That's a huge lead change here, and now this is definitely going to move Terabyte up in the leaderboards. He definitely needed this right now, and he always is wearing that trademark Pikachu hat. I love it to death.
Yeah, that's actually a really important race for Terabyte to be able to take out and get that amount of points going forward, because going into the last now half of these races, having a decent-sized lead is going to be important, and getting into that, probably that 3rd or 4th place with that 1st place finish is going to be really important overall in the tournament. You're seeing the cheering coming out of the crowd, of course, coming up by the upper section. Of course, make sure to check out the whole arena if you haven't been here before. We have upper section as well.
Absolutely.
But you know, that's where we are too, so you can say hi as you go by. But we're going to see everyone just kind of partying, getting ready for this 4th race here. Glitchtastic getting ready. A nice race for him. It still ended up in one of the top 3 spots, I believe, so he's going to try and solidify himself a top 2 finish going forward in this one. Now the 4th race is coming in, one of the smaller maps on Mario Kart as well, so they'll see this action unfold and see who's able to take this one out.
And right now the race is going to be getting underway. Again, no burnouts. Couple slow starts here. And right now Glitchtastic always hitting into that back camera. He always does that just to find out what he's going to do, but he did not get a boost, and he is going to have to recover on that. Now sitting in 4th place, going to take the top rotation on this part of the map. And this is normally a place where top rotation is only advantageous about lap 2 and 3 when you're already securing a high placement. Because really at the end of the day, you want to take the bottom route, you're going to be able to take a tighter turn. Chino getting hit by an unfortunate green shell. Really good for Glitchtastic. It's going to put Chino all the way down into 7th place. But right now, currently sitting 3rd in the leaderboard with 26 points. Kai Ret in 2nd. Glitchtastic in 3rd. Chino not in a bad spot right now, especially if he does move into 2nd and secures himself a final 10.
Yeah, now we'll see my style on your screen as the medal or the rose gold. Peach now is going to be trying to take that 1st place spot away from, it looks like Terabyte currently holding that with Rosalina. That blue shell is going to come in and connect for him, so that's going to slow down Terabyte drastically as he's able to drift around that and not take damage from the explosion. Dodging out of the coins a little bit there could be a small mistake that could end up affecting you later on, but we'll see him just keep going forward here. That red shell it looks like was actually hit by the map. That's another thing you're able to do in Mario Kart is use the map to your advantage as well. So if you're taking turns like that, or if you're going around the tight corners, you can actually use the map if you see a red shell come towards you to kind of solidify the red shell to connect with the map and not you instead.
Absolutely, and we're currently seeing KyRed going to be holding on to that banana, taking the outer edge of this area. Probably not the best decision. You probably want to stay as close towards the inside as possible, and he is going to use that red shell here in a second. Now leading into lap number 3, trying to find out whether his opponent has anything, knows that he has a banana. He's going to hold on to that red shell unless there's a double box that he's going to be able to grab onto, and it looks like that's not going to happen in this item box rotation, so he's going to have to wait. And then right now he does throw the red shell, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, he ends up getting damaged, but he was holding onto a banana. What was going on there?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, as it wasn't able to quickly get that as a defensive item, so it did end up connecting onto Maistal here. He's going to drop back to second place here. Not too bad of a spot for him still to be, and as KyRed is currently sitting in that first place spot, he's also sitting at first place overall, I believe, in the tournament. He's actually going to be Glitchtastic, so he's just a few points behind Glitchtastic, but with this position and this first place, could solidify himself that easy first spot going into the 5th race after this one. Nothing to worry about going after these last few turns. Hopefully no blue shells coming in. Looks like he's able to take that first place down. Looks like these mushroom boosts trying to come out from Terabyte won't actually get him to second place. Still solidifies himself a 3rd place, and it looks like the pink, rose pink Peach was able to take that second place.
You okay there?
Nope. Rose pink.
Just
rose gold. Rose pink is just like
pink gold.
Pink rose. Gold pink.
There you go.
No.
And we do see KyRed again extending the Zovko dab. Again, it has to be below the waist, though. That's the only thing. I'm curious to know what ended up happening to Maistal in that race. And that is a very interesting thing. He was holding on to that banana, and then he still gets hit by the red shell. I wonder what happened, but great job by KyRed holding on, actually securing himself, I believe, into second place. Glitchtastic going to be actually taking first, if I'm not mistaken.
KyRed actually taking first place with that overall tournament score will actually bring him into first place overall in the tournament, and Glitchtastic's going to drop down to second there. Maistal actually got second place in that race, so not a bad finish for him at all as we go into this 5th race. See exactly what map this might be. Obviously, if it's one of the easier maps, we'll see pretty much anyone has a chance to try and take that first place out. If not, we'll see exactly what's going to go forward. This is going to be Twisted Mansion for this 5th race, and this is going to be very opportunistic for the really experienced and really good players, because there's obviously a few paths in the likes of Twisted Mansion that could really affect your overall race time. You have the small library shortcut as well that comes right after the beginning of the race, and you have a few of the up and down paths and left and right paths that could really, really slow you down.
And this library one right here, very nice to see that we did have a couple players did get a couple mushrooms, and they used the library skip. And we're going to look over at Maistal, who is going to be that pink gold peach, and actually found a way to get that mushroom and put himself through the library with ease, and now currently fighting for first place. Going to be taking the left option. Chino is going to be his second place competitor, going to be getting that double box, and going to be taking that top row. And now it's a battle between the two. Chino getting the bomb, going to have to hold on to that unless he can throw it in front of Maistal. That's going to be a huge advantage if he can actually connect that bomb, but he's likely going to throw it backwards just to secure himself an extended lead in second place.
Yeah, now Maistal going to hold a pretty solidified lead here going into the rest of the second lap. Now, just starting this one out, he's not going to have that mushroom, so he's not going to go through the library. Smart choice. Obviously, you can't really make that shortcut if you don't have a mushroom. Supremo actually going to be second place, as Roy currently sitting behind the likes of Maistal. That defensive red shell is going to come out and connect with that other red shell coming towards him. Looks like there's also another one, but he was able to get out of that situation drastically fast. Seeing the bomb being thrown behind him, it didn't look like connected with anyone. Both of them have a pretty sizable lead, though, compared to the rest of the pack. It seems like some of these players like Glitchtastic and KyRed and Terabyte just not doing as hot in this race so far.
And Maistal currently extending his lead, currently in first place, and has a good gap, but that blue shell will be coming in. Chino going to be utilizing these mushrooms, has no idea that there was a blue shell coming in, and he almost takes first place, but he ends up hitting something, but actually hits another player with that piranha plant, and is going to get himself back into second place. Coming into lap number 3, going to skip the library turn, does have the red shell, and this is going to be a very interesting place. Terabyte moving up into second right now.
And we'll see Terabyte with a nice recovery getting all the way up to that second. It looks like KyRed is actually contesting for that second place as well, and somehow both of these guys look to be in the bottom half going into the rest of that lap, and both of them got back into the top 3, so that's really impressive, and obviously really good recovery coming out from them. That blue shell is going to connect in front of Terabyte, so he's going to slow down obviously a little bit. That is going to be really good for him, just to make sure he doesn't actually connect with the blue shell explosion as well. But he's going to get axed, unfortunately. That's going to drop him all the way down to 4th place. Gets hit by a banana, is going to keep him at 3rd, and he's able to look like finish out in 3rd place, but that axe timing just not the best for Terabyte there.
He had the ability to throw away the red shell and end up using that mushroom to push himself through, that would have secured the first place. But because he didn't use it the way that he did, he ended up getting the chain damage that knocked him all the way down the way that it did. That is a huge, unfortunate run of events that ended up happening there for Terabyte, and that is a huge disadvantage. Kyret again taking first place right there, and we're looking down at the floor. We have a couple people. I wonder if they're going to pay for my food right now, and I do see the Vegas Golden Knights as well, so...
Yeah, we'll see the Golden Knights fan base coming out here. Obviously, you're wearing Golden Knights gear as well. Really, really cool to see. I didn't pay enough attention to hockey, like pretty much at all before the Golden Knights came here, and then I paid so much attention to it when they started coming here. And obviously, after that season, the miracle season to get into the Stanley Cup, and their first season was just insane. And that's kind of what got me on the board of watching.
I think what's really insane is the fact that Vegas has a pro team that's actually good.
That's true, too. That is actually a good point. Because I feel like we're getting the Raiders here shortly. They're
I'm sorry,
one of the worst teams in football. But we're going to see how they progress. As these players progress in this last race of the third qualifier, we are going to see now Kyret, I believe, is still holding on to that first place spot by a decent lead. So it's up to him to really lose this whole qualifier. It seems like even if Glitchtastic is able to beat him in this race, which he's currently holding first place, he's still guaranteed a top 2 spot, I believe. Considering Terabyte is in third with 39 points, Kyret has 52. So that's 13 points. There's really no point difference able to actually solidify Terabyte's spot here in the top 2. So it's really up to where Glitchtastic placement is, and Kyret has pretty much solidified a top 2 spot though.
And we're going to look over at Supremo right now, currently sitting in 6th place and was 6th place in the leaderboard as well. Currently consistent. Chino has really been a very surprising name right now. Going to be throwing off a couple of those green shells, and we do see that sound box being used. But Chino again really showing some surprising plays here, playing with the ranks of our ranked players, and we do see that he is closing the gap here, trying to avoid these Piranha Plant chomps, and there is Terabyte currently sitting in 3rd place.
Yeah, those are all 3 ranked players in front of him. You have Terabyte, Glitchtastic, and Kyret leading the charge there. That green shell not going to connect with the first likes of Terabyte there, so he's still going to be able to slide past with some nice drifting and control to be able to get himself into that 3rd place spot. 2 red shells in his inventory as well. He's going to use one of them offensively here to try and connect with the player in front of him, and it will connect with Kyret. And he's going to just get this horn here and get, unfortunately, smooshed on by that. And he's going to have to wait a little bit of time to actually get past that. The red shell coming out, but he also gets hit by a star, and that is going to drop Kyret all the way down to 5th place here. He's able to at least get that boost off, but he's going to drop a few placements there in the second lap, and now going into 3rd, not looking too hot.
That was a huge disadvantage there for Kyret, and you did see the frustration. He started screaming at the screen. Trademark Kyret that we really do love to see. My style moving back up into 3rd place, showing that he can contend with the basis of our ranked players. Chino holding on to 2nd, and Glitchtastic extending his lead. Obviously, you can see on that minimap he's extending it, but he ended up getting hit by something and is going to lose a little bit of that in the gap. Slowly coming in, Chino now honing in on position, trying to take first place away from Glitchtastic. Let's see if we can do it here at the very end of this lap.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see he actually waited to use Mushroom there and was able to throw the boomerang backwards to secure himself a 2nd place spot. So nicely done from Chino to be able to get there. It looks like Glitchtastic was able to take that 1st place placement, and that, I believe, secures your top 2 for this qualifier. Going to be Kyret and Glitchtastic, considering Glitchtastic needed a 1st place to really solidify that spot. I believe with that definitely did so. So we know that Zero and Zovgo out of the first qualifier were the top 2 in that. We know Sir9 and Geronimo and Marshall technically were the top 2 or 3 in the second qualifier. But we'll see now in this one, Glitchtastic and Kyret, the 2 coming out of this, both tied with 59 points at the end of that actually. So obviously just taking the top 2 in general, but both tied even at that 1st place spot. Could have been a problem if we had more players this week. But going into this is going to secure both of them a top 6 into the final 10 here.
That was a big play, by the way. I got to give it to Chino. He really outranked Terabyte in that race and ended up getting into the wild card at the last second. But again, congratulations to Glitchtastic and Kyret. And now that means we have 5 of our 6 players in that final 10 who are going to be ranked. Let's take a look at the replays right now for qualifier number 3 as we get ready to go into the wild cards.
Yeah, and we obviously saw a lot of action here. It looked like Terabyte was leading the charge for a decent bit of time, but Glitchtastic and Kyret kind of were able just to keep holding that spot here. You saw Glitchtastic with these nice mushroom boost at the end, just was able to secure that 1st place right in front of Kyret at the very, very end of that one. And Glitchtastic seemed to be holding first for a lot of these races, but either if it was up to items or something, it might have happened where it dropped him out a few placement spots. And just like blue shell manipulation here, that dropped him drastically down because he dropped out of 1st place already and then dropped a few more spots because of the blue shell connection.
Absolutely. Really, item manipulation has been a really great advantage for a lot of the players here. Chino did a great job of holding on to and using them effectively. Terabyte struggling with a lot of map rotations. He ended up getting, again, in Twisted Mansion, hit by the hammers, and then just ended up getting hit by tons of other items at the same time. This is that hit that you see, and then he all of a sudden gets hit by another player, hits that banana, and ends up speeding out, and then almost gets hit by the green shell right after. That is a huge, unfortunate chain of events that you never want to see. I would definitely say he was Geronothrowed in that race.
He was definitely Geronothrowed at the end of that one, and that always seems to happen in the end of lap 3s where you get Geronothrowed ASAP, and that just seems to be unfortunate for Terabyte. Obviously, will still secure himself a spot in the wildcard round, so just have to be in the top 4 for the wildcard, and that's, almost half of the players getting out of that is always a nice feeling because you can race pretty well. You don't have to race the best, which is nice because obviously you want to race the best if you're trying to get into the final 10 because the final 10 is the best of the best for tonight. But you have a bit of spots to where you can actually lose some races and lose some points and recover kind of quickly in the wild card round.
Absolutely. In the wild card, we'll be getting started here underway in just a second. We have Marshall, Chino, and Me Gamer currently holding up the top 3 positions there with Sneaks and Terabyte holding on to the top 5 racers in the wild card so far. Very excited to see that we do have Kiro, who is going to try and make a name for himself. He wants to hit a final 10, hasn't done it yet. This could really be his week.
Yeah, and obviously wild card points will reset, so it doesn't really matter the exact placement of everyone, just that you're in the wild card in general now. Obviously points will be reset, so once they go into the last 6 races here, that is going to be what they're ideally looking for, is just a point reset and just try and get into those top 4 spots like I was talking about, considering we already have 6 of the final 10, just looking for those last 4 spots here.
And we have Jordan down on the floor for an interview. Jordan, go ahead and take it away with Kyrat.
Hi guys, I'm down here with Kyrat, who I finally get to interview. Kyrat, how are you feeling after that win? That was so close.
Glitch and I were really close to the entire race, and it was just kind of a friendly competition between us, and we were both excited that we tied first, so.
Aw, that's so sweet. Normally people talk trash. You're not a trash talker?
Nah, not really. Except Sir 9 sometimes, but it's just sometimes.
Well, everybody talks trash about Sir 9 all the time, so. What do you do to practice before these? Do you actually get any practice in, or do you just wing it?
It depends on the weekend. Last weekend I practiced for 5 hours straight online, and this time I just didn't practice at all, and it paid off, I guess.
All right. So you come here all the time with another player. Is that like your best friend forever?
Maybe not forever, but,
but
you yeah.
Said you don't talk trash. Do you ever practice with anybody else from the arena?
I think Me Gamer and Zovgo are the 2 people I normally practice with.
Well, are you looking forward to the next few rounds? Are you nervous at all?
Not really.
All right, well, thanks for letting me ask you questions. Back to you guys.
And that's a nice interview coming out from Kyrat right there. Just